What is up, besties? Welcome back to another Slaber Vlogs video. This is the second week I am recapping Dancing with the Stars. It's Grease night and I absolutely love Grease. It's one of my favorite musical movies, so I am super excited to recap this. Also, I wanted to say that I got a notebook. It's all sparkly and cute, and I'm going to be using this for my recaps, which is always fun. Alrighty, so let's get it. First up, Olivia Jade and Val. They did a Foxtrot to Summer Nights, which, I mean, yes. All of these songs are just, yes, I absolutely love Grease. Anyway, they got a 9, 9, 9, and 9 for a 36 out of 40 as their total. I really liked how cute and fun this dance was. She had really good technique, and I really liked how flowy it was despite the upbeat and up-tempo song. I also really liked the little girl's moment that she had in the dance. I think that really brought out her personality and it really shined a spotlight on her, and I really enjoyed that. And obviously her connection with Val, as I kind of mentioned in the last video, amazing, 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 has truly helped her throughout this competition. So next week, I think that she can work on arms and turns and just the little details. It was a little wonky with the hands and the arms and the turns, so things like that, just the little details, and I think that she will go far in the competition if she can improve on that. Next up, we have Melora, Harpin, and Artem. They did a Viennese Waltz to Look at Me and Sandra D. They also got all 9s across the judges panel for a 36 out of 40 as their total. I really like her character as always. I think that she's really good at embodying the characters of the dances that she does, and that's honestly such a wonderful gift to have. I know she's an actress, so she really has been using that strength as an actress to really perform and act out the part that she's dancing. I really like how Carrie Ann said she makes everyone want to dance with her because she just enjoys it, and I think that's honestly so true. And I think that everybody should do this when they're dancing, is that you should want the audience to join in with you. You should want the audience to do the dance with you and to want to enjoy it as well. And so I think that her own enjoyment kind of radiates those enjoyment vibes to the whole audience, and I love that. She has a good connection with Artem, which is awesome, and I think that she can work on making steps a little bit smaller. I can sense her getting a little bit clunky in her movements, and so I think that if she makes them smaller, more precise, especially in transition movements, she'll be able to eliminate that clunkiness and make it a lot more precise and crisp and clear. Next up, we have Iman Shumpert, I think I'm saying that right. I think I said it wrong last week, so I think it's Iman Shumpert and Daniella. And they had a Viennese Waltz to Hopelessly Devoted to You, which is probably my favorite song in the entire show. I mean, I love Grease. I love every single song in that movie, but Hopelessly Devoted just has a soft spot in my heart. They got 7s across the whole judge panel with a 28 out of 40 as their total. Carrie Ann mentioned their chemistry is great, and Len said that he has this gentleness to him, which you don't normally see with an athlete, so I think that's really, really good for him. I think that Bruno saying that he's dancing down to Daniella is a really good piece of criticism and a really good piece of advice to work on. I think that because of the height difference, and trust me, I know I'm 4'11", I dance with a guy who's literally 6'6", so I understand the whole thing of partnering and how it's really hard with a height difference. I remember I had to do a penché. I was on point too. I was in point shoes and I had to do a penché, and it was an arabesque penché, and it was down, and my partner's holding my hand, and my partner literally had to go on the floor, like kneel on the floor to balance me out. Like, that's how bad our height difference was. So trust me, I get it. Height differences are really hard with partnering, but I think that he should trust Daniella. She's a professional, so she can adjust. You know, he shouldn't have to adjust for her. She can adjust for him because she's the pro and she knows how to do that. So I think that if he can trust her to adjust to him, then that's gonna help with the whole frame and hold and make it not awkward. Next up, we have the Miz and Whitney. They did a jive to Grease Lightning. They got 8 all across the judges panel, and they had a 32 out of 40 as their total. The hip circle at the beginning was absolutely amazing. Totally in character. I love how he's dedicated to that character of Danny Zuko, and he really embodied that character. You could tell that he was excited to play the role of Danny Zuko. I mean, who wouldn't be excited to play the role of Danny Zuko? So I think that he really embodied that character, and that really helped bring out the enjoyment of his performance, and it made it so much fun to watch. I think that he definitely did rush a bit, and there could have been more clarity in the movements, as kind of the whole judge panel said. And I think a lot of that came from that excitement, as you know, I kind of said last week with Amanda Klutz. I think that sometimes when these contestants, they get really excited to do a specific performance or do a specific dance style, and that kind of makes their movement a little sloppy because they're just so excited and they want to show that excitement. So I think really showing that excitement but also getting down that technique and being focused on the movement will really help with that. Next up, we have Amanda Klutz and Alan. They did a Viennese Waltz to Beauty School Dropouts, and they got a 10, 10, 9, and 10 for a 39 out of 40 as their total. I think that she has a really good frame in this. The leg hold and extensions, I mean, her legs are absolutely amazing. I want her legs so bad. They're so long, every dancer's dream. So I just really want her legs and extensions, and honestly, I'm jealous. She had a really good fluidity, which is really great, but I think that she can work on her arms a little bit. This time they were a little bit stiff. So it's kind of funny because Derek said that they were kind of flailing around a little bit in the paso, and now in the Viennese Waltz, she had very stiff arms. It definitely got better by the end, and it got more expressive, but I think that she could really work on softening her arms and really making sure that her arm movement is in character and is in character with the dance, most importantly. Next up, we have Suni Lee and Sasha. They did a charleston to Born to Hand jive. They got a 9, 9, 9, and 9 for 36 out of 40 as their total. It was really funny. I think Derek mentioned it, that they were doing a charleston to Born to Hand jive, and Suni Lee was playing cha-cha. So I just love that combination. It was great. I think that she had really good energy this time, and she was definitely more expressive, and she's getting more expressive. Could be improved upon a little bit, but I think that she's definitely getting there. She's getting to break out of her shell and really open up and be more expressive, and I really love watching that. You can actually see the enjoyment in herself. I think that she was enjoying her dancing before, but she wasn't really expressing that to the audience, and now she's actually finally expressing her enjoyment to the audience. I think next time that she could work on the character. I think that she made cha-cha a little bit innocent, so I think that if she can really embody her character, even if it's sassy, even if her character is very fiery like cha-cha, then I think that it would make her performance so much better. Next up, we have Jimmy Allen and Emma. They did a Foxtrot to Sandy, which is stranded at the drive-in, branded a fool. I don't know why, I just really love singing that part. They got an 8, 8, 9, and 9 for 34 out of 40 as their total. First of all, I wanted to congratulate Jimmy Allen on his kid. Oh my goodness, newborn babies are so cute. I love them. So yes, congratulations to Jimmy on his newborn child. Such an amazing moment, and I'm so happy for him, so congratulations. So in his dance, I really like the nice fluid movement in the legs. Specifically, I think that his movement and the connectiveness in his legs was absolutely incredible. He definitely did slip a bit, but that's okay. I think that, as Carrie Ann said, his expressiveness needs to transfer to being in the hold and being in frame as well. I think that when he's out of hold and out of frame, he's definitely very expressive, but he needs to be that expressive while he's in frame as well. So he needs to be consistent throughout. And I think with that is just not being nervous about being in hold. Trust your partner. Trust your partner in knowing what she's doing. Trust your partner in knowing the choreography and guiding you along and helping you along. And really trust yourself in that you know the choreography. Feel confident that you know the choreography. As I used to learn in dance, if you make a mistake, make it confidently. If you fall out of a turn, do it confidently. Confidence is key to pretty much anything. So if you're not confident, people are going to notice that. I think that overall, he had really good enthusiasm, and he's definitely dedicated to the character, as Len said. So that really helps him. So I think that if he really embodies his character and has confidence in embodying that character, it'll bring out his personality even when he's in the frame and within the hold. Next up, we have Kenya Moore and Brandon. They did a rumba to There Are Worse Things I Could Do, which is one of my other favorite songs. Even though I'm definitely not like Rizzo, I'm definitely a Sandy. I'm definitely an innocent Sandy. So Rizzo is kind of out of my comfort zone, but I still do love that song and I love belting it out whenever I can. They got 9s all across the judges panel for 36 out of 40 as their total. I actually sang the song for a singing assignment, or like an acting and singing assignment for a class in musical theater. She's very much the person who's like, yeah, like there are worse things I could do, and yeah, like you may say that I'm this and you may be spreading rumors about me, but I know who I am inside and I know I am not that person. It's a very vulnerable moment for Rizzo, the character. So I really liked her poise throughout the whole dance and how she really embodied that poise of Rizzo and that attitude of Rizzo. I think that she had much better energy. I guess it's because like it was very simple, it was very poised from the character, so she didn't really have to be like sassy or anything. I feel like if she was definitely like in Suni's position and she was Cha-Cha, she would have had to really bring that sass out. I also really love the comeback. I mean, yes, that's what we are talking about. She also had very good chemistry with Brandon and very good control over her movements. For next week, I think that she should work on some of the dips and tricks. I think that there was a little bit of a dip in there that looked a little awkward, and sometimes like the arm placement and arm movement could have been a little bit better, so just brushing up on that. I think for her, simplicity is better, so I don't know if that's on Brandon, I don't know if that's on her, but like however that kind of works within the partnership, simplicity works better for her. Next up, we have JoJo, Siwa, and Jenna. They did a Foxtrot to Look at Me, I'm Sandra D reprise. I definitely belted this song out in the living room, so my housemates probably heard me sing it, but it's fine. It's very short, very nice, short and sweet song, so they didn't have to suffer through my belting that long. They got the first perfect score, so 10, 10, 10, 10 for 40 out of 40. The acting, first of all, that was the first thing that popped out to me was JoJo's face. Her acting and her character and how she connected with that character was absolutely amazing and so powerful, very fluid, as a Foxtrot should be. The lead and follow, as Derek mentioned, kind of that balance between the lead and follow was perfect. I think that Jenna really wants the best in JoJo as obviously the professional, as a teacher, and Sandy really relies on Frenchie as JoJo relies on Jenna. So I think that connection really showed how good a friendship can be. I think that for next week, pretty much this routine was perfection. I mean, obviously it shows in the scores and the judges' comments, but I think that for next week, if she happens to have an energetic routine, she should use this elegance and use this maturity in that performance that seems to be very energetic. Next up, we have Mel C and Gleb. They did a quick step to You're the One That I Want. They got a 9999 for a 36 out of 40 as their total. I think that she had really good character, as always, and I really liked Gleb's little homage to the movie choreography in this, and I really liked how he incorporated the movie choreography into the quickstep. I think that Derek and Carrie Ann really mentioned a good point about this whole show in general, and how kind of like the biggest difference that you will probably see, other than dance experience and dancing, is the fact that you will see a lot of people come out of their shell. I think the true change in the contestants on this show should be something other than dance related, whether it's a story that they need to let go of, whether it's something about them that they need to let go of, whether it's standing up to haters, whether it's being more confident within yourself. It's something that is non-dance related that always warms the hearts of everybody in this competition. So I really enjoyed seeing her kind of become this confident woman and independent woman. And I really liked kind of that talk that they had in the rehearsal package and how Gleb really lifted her up in her confidence. Sadly, they got eliminated. I will definitely explain my thoughts on that later on in the video. So the last couple that I have an analysis for is CODY, Rigsby, and Cheryl. They did a quick step to We Go Together Like Rama Lama Lama Ding-a-da-ding-a-dong. They got an 8 for a 32 out of 40 as their total. I think that CODY had really good movement out of hold because his personality shined a lot. He has this amazing energy, this amazing personality, wonderful humor. And I think that out of hold, like, he has these amazing moments that really showcase that personality and show that fun that he has within himself and that he wants to share to the world. He could definitely work on letting go. I think when Cheryl said in the rehearsal package that we have to make sure that we are consistently in a good frame and a good hold throughout this whole entire routine, I think that made him a little bit nervous in a way, and it made him kind of lose that hold. And you could see it in his face that he was like trying to hold on as much as possible and trying to maintain it as much as possible. And you could tell that he was nervous. You could tell that he was like trying to figure out the steps and coordinate his hold and, you know, make sure everything was like nice and lifted and nice and poised up top, but also very like stepping quickly, as you know, it's called the quick step. You know, he was trying to make sure he got the footwork all on the bottom, so it's kind of that coordination I guess that he was nervous about, and I could sense that nervousness in his face and in his performance. So I think that if he could have that energy in the hold, it'll help him a lot. And I think that, again, like, he needs to be confident in himself. Also, that high school video of him in Greece, hilarious. I love it. Alrighty, so let's talk about this elimination because I have some things to say. So it came down to Mel C and Gleb and Olivia Jade and Val as the bottom two. And to be quite honest, I did not think either of them deserved to be in the bottom two. I think that they were definitely one of the strongest dancers in the competition, and they both deserve to be on the show another week. I definitely have my favorites. I definitely have people that I'm rooting for, and I definitely have my opinions on who should have been eliminated, but I'm not going to say that because that is not the place right now. But I will say that I think that the judges did go with the right decision. I think Olivia Jade definitely has more potential than Mel C, and I love Mel C. I love her partnership with Gleb, and I think that she did an amazing job on the show. I just think that when it came down to those two, Olivia Jade was a stronger performer. I think that this definitely calls for another discussion on how much of an influence America has, because as Derek said, I even wrote it down. Derek literally said, "America, what have you done?" I feel like sometimes it can be a little bit of a popularity contest more than a dancing competition, and this is called Dancing with the Stars. There have been so many times where the best dancers in the competition have been eliminated, and the worst dancers in the competition have been going through to like the finale. I definitely think that there should be a better balance between the audience's votes and the dancing and the actual judges' scores on the dancing. I don't think that it should be a popularity competition. I know they're trying so hard to balance it out to not make it as much of a popularity competition as it could be, and I think that it's gotten better. But I think at the same time, it's still got a little bit of a popularity competition in there. I'm hoping that Dancing with the Stars or ABC for next season can figure out, first of all, a way to kind of even out the votes between the judges, especially if they have 4 judges, and second of all, to kind of eliminate the popularity contest of the show. And I don't know how they're going to do that. I get that is really difficult, but I think that it would make the competition more fair. It would make the competition a truly dancing competition rather than a popularity contest. So those are my thoughts. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, turn on your post notifications so you're updated every single time we upload a video. Comment down below video ideas and follow us on social media. The links are in the description below. If you want to see all the dances, those will be linked in the description below. You can also go on to Dancing with the Stars YouTube channel and you can view them from there. And if you would like to see my written recap that I got published in my school newspaper, you can also read that. The link will also be in the description below. I will see you guys next week, and bye!